Let's talk about Showdown at Cremation Creek Part 2, the series finale for Season 2, and an epic showdown between the forces of good, well, the forces of evil, and also evil. And I rated this episode as S tier many years ago. I think it still holds up. There's definitely a lot of the Season 2 episodes that I think should be a lot higher up on my list after doing this recent rewatch. What are your favourite episodes of Season 2? And let's jump in. Fear and panic take over the wedding. The monarchs are now married, at least for a little bit.
I wish you both very much luck in your new life together.
As the attack ships start to come down upon the cocoon.
Should we fire on them, sir?
Brock tells Hank not to die.
Okay, try not to die.
As the rats start to flee the sinking ship.
Let the rats desert the ship.
But Phantom Limb is after the big fish rats.
It's the big fish rats we're after.
And Dr. Mrs. the Monarch starts to chew him up.
Hamilton G. Phantomos, you are embarrassing yourself.
As he appears on the telescreens with some sexist rants.
Sweet girl, you're being irrational, and such is the curse of your sex.
But suddenly, Iggy Pop and Klaus turn on everyone, using their...
Klaus! Iggy! No!
Nomi using his sonic voice blast and the magic energy balls of Iggy Pop.
Honey, do something.
As David Bowie jumps in the way to defend the newlywed couple.
You traitorous bastards. I should have known.
He is, well, exploded. Popped.
Pop! No way.
Leaving behind just a small pack of cigarettes. The monarch, thinking his new bride is dead, decides there's nothing worth living for.
No, I got nothing to live for.
And attacks. He goes after Klaus whilst Brock goes after Iggy Pop.
Oh, you want that up your ass?
Though the monarch is quickly defeated. On the lower decks of the ship, Dean is locked in the engine room, unable to escape or contact anyone.
Pop? Come in, Pop! Daddy?
Fortunately, he finds the magic ring of power.
Behold, the ring of power!
And Giant Boy Detective leads him on an adventure to escape this horrible place.
Giant Boy Detective! You're real! Are we gonna solve a mystery? No, youngin'.
And also ruins the magic of Clifford the Big Red Dog, which is a shame.
I mean, you should see Clifford. He's like this guy's in one of those little dogs rich ladies drag around.
Meanwhile, back at the compound, the Order of the Triad have stolen the X1 to rescue everyone.
I say we take this thing to Aruba.
Orpheus is a necromancer and not a competent pilot.
I'm not sure how to fly this.
They're struggling with the controls. Al still wants to kill Nine Nub because he is some form of magical abomination.
I wanted to kill him because I bet he's an abomination or something.
Orpheus tells him that unless something's made out of dead people, killing it is still murder.
Unless he's made from dead people, it is still considered murder.
But this is a pilot who flew the Millennium Falcon into the Death Star. He has no problem with the X1's controls, and they head off. And I was just praying that Nine Nub doesn't understand what he's saying. Hopefully he just speaks Galactic Basic.
I hope he couldn't understand what I said about him.
After their defeat, the Monarch and Brock team up.
There's an armada of guild wasps out there waiting to spank our ass.
To get revenge. Brock starts ordering henchmen around.
Henchmen, listen up.
Hold out there!
Until the Monarch gets jealous.
Who's running this cocoon?
Oh, fine, then you give the order.
Minions!
He gives the orders a lot better to his minions than Brock does. The cocoon turns magenta.
Magenta? That's your battle mode color?
Eat it!
We get a little thank you from the Monarch.
Go it. Thanks.
I love the relationship that the Monarch and Brock have throughout this series. That while they fight and try and kill each other, well, to a degree, there is always this little bit of help that Brock will offer when need be. He understands the rules and regulations of this. And Brock wants to beat people up more than he wants to follow the rules. Fuck Phantom Limb.
Go it. Thanks. Oh, and Brock.
What?
Thank you.
A kidnapped Dr. Mrs. M has been brought over to the command ship.
Creepy jerk. What are you anyway? You supposed to be from the future?
And while she tries to knock them down a notch,
And you put a shirt on, for God's sakes.
Phantom Limb tries to get her back in her Queen Etheria outfit.
Put on your Queen Etheria costume
and take your rightful place by my side.
Dr. Mrs. M reminds the monarch that the Sovereign will kill him for these acts of aggressions.
What do you think the Sovereign's gonna do to you when he finds out you borrowed his entire army to fight your lovers' quarrel?
But Lim says he's the Sovereign.
I suspect the Sovereign will be quite all right with it. You see, you're looking at him.
And launches the full-scale attack on the cocoon.
Strangers, attack!
Rusty mocks the cocoon's design.
So, it's a cocoon that flies.
As they fly through the Grand Canyon, dodging and weaving the guild wasps. All the while, the henchmen ready up for their attack, which leads us to discovering how many of these henchmen are suicidal.
How many of you are suicidal?
Yeah, I'm not surprised there's a lot. I wonder if that's why they became henchmen, or because they became henchmen. One of the best parts of the episode, Butterfly Brock.
Listen up! I know that I've beat on most of you in the past.
The fluttering horde's greatest leader. He gives his speech.
As a swarm, even you guys can be dangerous.
As a swarm, even these henchmen can be dangerous. Coming from someone like Brock, that means a lot. They can be murder flies.
You are no longer butterflies. Today, you are murder flies.
Brock, rightfully so, has a plan. Kill Lim and they win. Most supervillains, once they're beaten, their men retreat, flee, run away.
Decisive blow. We go for the head. Cut it off and watch the body die.
So his experience is clearly coming in handy, as Brock points out that they've had wings this whole time that actually work.
Y'all have wings.
Yeah, these are for show and not for blowing. Ah, no way! They work!
To the surprise of all of the henchmen.
What? Doodle Chip! Why did anybody tell us these things work?
He decides to not let Hank come, becoming the screen door on his submarine.
I want to come with! I want to help!
Not this time, Hank's too dangerous.
Dean is now losing his mind, seeing a giant Triana head.
And he was known as Dean.
On his full never-ending story adventure with Billy and White, and alongside the rat version of his father, they try and insult him till he cries.
That shivering child? Clearly he's incompetent, and I bet he's a sissy.
Yeah, or a crybaby.
He seems to be having a great time. Brock, on the other hand, is pushing the flustering horde out. Russian Guyevich has decided to return.
I am exchange henchman from Russian supervillain.
And Hank has the old suit and is pushed from the ship. Brock is able to save him just before he hits the ground.
Close and follow my lead. You'll make it through this, soldier.
Dodging explosions and wielding his trusty Bowie knife. As the Monarch's men are getting massacred, hitting windshields like bugs.
No clumping up like a JV soccer team. Keep an erratic flight path.
Managing to swerve into the way of all the bullets. And attacking with silly string?
Fire and fall back.
On the command ship, Iggy Pop is now quoting, well, himself.
I'm a street-walking cheetah with a heart full of napalm. Give me danger, man!
And as he's getting restless, sitting around waiting for the fight, he heads on top for a smoke.
The smoking outside.
While Dr. Mrs. M argues about Lim being the Sovereign.
There's no way you can be the Sovereign. I've seen him chew you out over the TV, whatever thing, the screen thing.
And he informs us that he's killed the old Sovereign.
The old Sovereign is dead. I've given myself a promotion.
And the old Sovereign was David Bowie.
You killed him. You killed him, didn't you, Bowie?
Quite a bean in that pretty little head.
21 and 24 decide to start up an urban myth about being sucked into an engine.
Was it you guys that got caught in that engine?
No, it's an urban myth.
What does that even mean?
And then my favourite moment of the episode, as Iggy Pop goes out for his fag.
Hello, I'm David Bowie.
What the?
Make way for the Homo Superior.
Make way for the Homo Superior, as he's becoming wicked bad for the Monarch out there.
Oh, it's wicked bad out there, sir.
Hank, under Brock's command, lands the 1 in a million shot.
Great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million.
While Dean fights the black-hearted insect king and his orphan machine.
Turn my orphans! Turn me on!
Which I think the Monarch, being an orphan himself, is probably above doing something like that. Rusty, on the other hand, Dean keeps chopping him up before eventually realizing his terrible secret.
I
up already!
His black heart.
Stab me in the heart already!
I got it! Your evil black heart is where your power comes from!
And upon killing the Insect King and saving the orphans,
Run, orphans! Be free!
we get the engine failing sound.
Place where your father will make you get in a fight with a Venus flytrap that wants and with a gun!
As Dean has destroyed the main power source of the cocoon.
We just lost power, like all of it.
Monarch and Rusty start to run to the escape pods,
Wanna see my escape cocoon?
as Bowie, now disguised as Iggy Pop, kills Naomi Clow before starting a fight with Phantom Limb himself. Brock, Hank, and the henchmen are trying to break into the command ship,
It's like Dracula versus Yoda in there.
but somebody dropped the bolt cutters.
You were in charge of the bolt cutters!
Cut me some slack! I wasn't getting any altitude!
As Brock almost gives up hope until the X-1 crashes into the command ship, sending it spiraling out of control. As the Triad use a spell of protection,
Can't you put a magic protective bubble around us? Join hands! Our powers are stronger as a team!
Rusty and Malcolm climb into bed together, getting ready to escape the cocoon.
Or would you prefer an escape butterfly?
Dean is now kissing a magical hallucination he's seeing.
I think we should make out.
Yeah, I worry about the levels of radiation that Dean's taken on while enjoying his time in the cocoon. But as Falcor the Luck Dragon arrives to save him, back in the real world, we see the X-1 has crashed through the side of the cocoon, right by Dean, killing Nine Nub,
That little guy we made? All over the windshield.
and Al wants nothing to do with this situation.
It's creepy. I am so not gonna touch him.
And it sucks. Nine Nub is a galactic hero and ends up splattered on a windscreen. But I guess this is a version of him from a trading card, so maybe it's alright. The escape cocoon hits the command ship and everyone crashes into the Grand Canyon's basin. The henchmen get to try out their new life jacket wings,
Dude! Nobody tells me anything!
because the Monarch doesn't skimp on his tech, even if he doesn't tell people about it. Hank's had the ride of his life.
Again! Again!
The Monarch hugs Bowie before realizing he probably needs to help his wife out,
So glad you're... Oh. Hi. Sweetness, there you... Oh, crap.
who's trapped under Phantom Limb's invisible leg.
There. I was pinned under, I think it's Phantom Limb's leg.
Bowie tells everyone not to worry. The Diamond Dogs will hunt Phantom Limb down across the world.
There won't be a corner of the globe we'll be safe in once I sick the Diamond Dogs on his scent.
As he turns into an eagle and flies away.
Congratulations, both of you.
24 and 21 nerd out.
And Changes won? Love that album!
Could you be a bigger poser? Changes is a best of.
21, I think, winning the argument. Al keeps what I hope is an invisible arm, but might be an invisible penis.
Oh, I'm keeping this.
Dean rides atop the X-1
It's even more beautiful than I imagined!
until he passes out on the way back.
Yeah, he does this all the time. He'll pass out in a couple of minutes. We'll go up and get him.
The newlywed Monarch couple talk in their honeymoon suite, giving us the cliffhanger for next season.
Sheila, you've been rehearsing this. Monarch.
Which we'll be talking about right here next week. So let me know what you thought, and I'll catch you then.
It's time